in child's pose, please, since it's 12 o'clock. So start with a kneeling position. Let your forehead find your mat. From there, let your hips sink back towards your heels. And you have choices. You can press your knees close together, start to feel for a stretch in your lower back, lumbar spine. Or you could spread your knees a little bit wider apart, start to feel for a stretch in your hips that way. And arms can go out in front of you, palms face down. But if that feels at all crunchy on your shoulders today, send your arms back by your hips, palms face up. And it's really just about finding a place that feels sustainable, finding some softness. Allow yourself to get really heavy, to completely release to gravity, to sink into your mat. Wherever you are, bend your elbows enough so your forearms are totally resting on your mat. That way your shoulders can relax. You're not braced for impact in any kind of way. And it's a softening, a surrendering. And just start to feel your breath moving through you. And at first, just notice your breath. Don't try to manage it or change it in any sort of way. Your breath can tell you a lot about your state of mind. If you're breathing into your belly, your lower back, maybe you're feeling really calm, really at peace today. I know out here in California, it's like 80 degrees. Maybe that sunny weather is making you feel good, but if your breath is a little in your chest, your upper back, your throat, maybe there's a little stress, a little anxiety, perfectly understandable right now. And we don't want to label anything. Nothing is good or bad or right or wrong. It's just about starting to notice, becoming the witness behind your experience, because you are so much more than your reactions, right? Your thoughts, your emotions. If we can learn to become the witness behind it all, to take a step back, we can learn a whole lot about ourselves along the way, find that inner peace, that inner stillness. And then just start to manage your breath. Begin to deepen your inhales, lengthen out your exhales. See if on every inhale you can get a little more full. Every exhale, you can breathe a little slower, and as you exhale, feel everything soften even more. And those long, slow exhales, they trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, tell your body that you're safe, it's okay to be calm, it's okay to soften. We'll do our best to continue this deep, slow, rhythmic breath throughout all of class today. And that's kind of a practice in and of itself. So, don't beat yourself up if your breath does become a little choppy or you notice you're holding it. If that happens, come back to child's pose, reconnect. You can also come back here if you need a break, if you just need some peace, some centering. Sometimes just touching the floor is so grounding, especially in a time when there's so much uncertainty. Well, let's start off with a breath together. Start to exhale all of your air away, get empty. Inhale, fill your belly, lower back, rib cage expand. And exhale, HA. Take those breaths as often as you need, especially right now in your home, in your place, your own safe space. And then just start to add a little bit of movement into your child's pose. If your hands aren't out in front of you, start to walk them forward. Maybe so far forward that your elbows forms in a wrist release. So you're tented all the way up on your fingertips, and from there, feel for a stretch through both sides of your body as you keep sending your hips back. Just gently roll your forehead side to side. Feel the texture of your mat on your skin. And in a dreamy sort of way, let that roll travel down your spine into your hips until it's more of a sweet sweat. And keeping your eyes closed, from there, slowly push yourself up to all fours, find a tabletop. Feel for stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and tail for cow. Exhale, round your spine, push your mat away for cat. Inhale the cow, try to touch your head, your tail, feel for a stretch in your throat. And then exhale the cat, hollow yourself out, get as round as you can, and keep taking these on your own. Flow to the rhythm of your own breath, let your breath be your guide, and keep your eyes closed. Just let the rest of your reality fall away. Because for the next hour, it's not about the external, it's about going within. And when you close your eyes, 50% more of your brain gets to use all of your other senses. And this practice, it's a feeling-based one. And if you've taken a few rounds of cat and cow and there's something else that your body is really craving, maybe a C curve or an undulation in your spine, and maybe it's something I can't even describe. Maybe there aren't even words for it, but it's yours. Feel free to explore. This practice is yours. You live in your body. You're the one that knows what it needs. And we're honing that intuition, that listening to ourselves, that connection with ourselves. Really nice. And then on your next pass through, find a neutral spine. Spread your fingers as wide as they'll go. Tuck your toes. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, send your hips up high towards downward facing dog. But then as soon as you get there, break it apart, deconstruct it. Find some more free movement. And again, move in ways that feel intuitive to you. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. And you don't have to do the same thing you always do. Instead, really think of this practice as meeting yourself in the moment. Every time you step foot on your mat, there's a different version of you that's coming to your mat. So just check in with this one, see what you need today. And it's a really nice time to just check in. Notice where you're feeling open, where you're feeling tight, and also how you're feeling mentally, emotionally. We'll check back in a little later, see if anything changed. But for now, start to find stillness in that big upside down V. We'll clean it up. Look forward to your hands, set them shoulder width apart. Wrist crease parallel to the front of your mat, middle finger facing forward. Bring your shoulders away from your ears so they're not crunching up to your neck. And rotate your upper arms outward so it's like the inside of your elbow starts to face the front of the room. It's going to broaden your shoulders. Feet about 6 to 8 inches apart, and then bend your knees. Send your tailbone up towards the ceiling, tilt it forward, press your heart towards your thighs. Pull a bunch of length out of your spine. And then slowly just let your heels sink back towards your mat to the extent you can keep your spine long. If you notice your spine is rounding, just keep your knees bent. Exhale, empty. Inhale, biggest breath of your day. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale your right leg back. Go for length rather than height. So feel for your leg about halfway up so your hips level off. Flex your toes towards your face. Then inhale, point your toes, lift your legs straight up. Exhale, bend your knee, stack your hip. And do something to yawn open the right side of your body. So maybe it's really big movements of your hip, your knee, lubricating your major joints. But it could be more subtle, letting your leg be heavy can feel really nice. You can feel a stretch from your toes all the way up through your right ear. And then inhale your leg long, level off your hips. And exhale gently, kiss your toes down to your mat. And then inhale your left leg back. And again, go for length. Try to reach even farther towards whatever is behind you until you feel a big stretch. Then inhale, point your toes, lift your leg high. Exhale, bend your knee, stack your hip, and play and explore. Notice if the side feels any different. If it does, that's totally fine. You're a human being. You're not as symmetrical as you look. And inhale your leg long, level off your hips, and exhale gently, downward facing dog. From there, take a bend to your knees, look forward between your hands, and just take a slow walk to the front of your mat. Find your forward fold. When you get there, crease your knees to take pressure off your lower back and hamstrings. Allow your top half to get really, really heavy. Completely to succumb to gravity. We're just coaxing lower back, hips, hamstrings to gently begin to open. But it's a process. You never want to be forceful. And again, you get to make choices for your body in this class. You can grab the elbows, maybe a gentle sway side to side, or interlace hands behind your neck. Again, maybe you try something that you don't normally do. See how it feels today. Just try it on. And then measure out hips width distance between your feet. 2 fists snug between your arches. Inhale, half lift. Bring your hands to your shins, maybe your thighs for the first one. I like to do that. Bring your weight forward onto the balls of your feet so that you stack hips, knees, and ankles in line. You're safest when your joints are stacked like that. Use your hands pressing against your legs to grow even longer. Gather your shoulder blades together and draw them down your back. Inhale to grow long. And exhale, forward fold. Now on your inhale, come forward and up. All the way into your extended mountain pose. And when you get there, close your eyes. And just drop into the moment. Feel it out in your body. You could shift your weight around, left, right, back, forward. And it's just about navigating space. And notice what it's like to be inside your body right now, on your mat, in your home. And eventually find a place where you feel centered. Root your feet into your mat as if you could grow roots down to the ground. Pull up on your kneecaps to engage your thighs. Tuck your tailbone. It's going to put your pelvis in a neutral position. From there, grow tall out of your waistband, but at the same time, let your shoulders melt down your back. And just breathe and feel. Really, that's all you have to do for an entire hour. From there, flutter your eyes back open. Look up at your hands. And inhale, look up, reach back. And exhale, forward fold. And then just like a wave, let your inhale bring you all the way up into your mountain. When you reach the apex, let your exhale take you back down again. And keep going on your own. Take these, follow your own breath. Let your breath be your guide. Let it tell you when to move. Hi, Drew. And don't worry about how many we're gonna do or keeping pace with anyone else on your computer screen. Perhaps close your eyes through it. Allow yourself to just feel the movement. Feel your spine start to open up a little more each time. And then wherever you are, take one more inhale up in a mountain, one more exhale to forward fold. We'll meet up there together. Inhale, half lift, reset your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step your feet back, pause in your plank. It's like the top of a push-up. Tuck your tailbone. It's that same motion you did in mountain pose. Feel your core light up when you do it. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Actively press your mat away so you don't collapse into your shoulders. We're going to set up our flow together. Try to keep your elbows tight against your ribs. Inhale to shift your weight forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, untuck your toes, straighten your arms. Hips off your mat, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Send your heart towards your thighs. And that's our flow. You're going to find it a whole lot. You can modify, skip it, make it whatever you need it to be today. All right, from there, inhale your right leg back. Exhale slowly, step your foot between your hands. Seal your back, heel down. Inhale, warrior one. So face your back toes towards the top left corner of your mat. So your back foot's at about a 45-degree angle. Stack your front knee over your front ankle, and you can take a shorter or longer stance if you need to make that happen. From there, think left hip a little forward as you draw your right thigh bone back. But then let go of the idea of perfection, of hips having to be perfectly squared, because a lot of that just depends on your individual anatomy, how much water you had today, what you've done so far during your day. And instead of worrying about what it looks like, focus on what it feels. Close your eyes at the end. Feel the pose from the inside out. Notice all those little shakes and wobbles. That's your body working so hard to hold you up, all those little micro movements. And then inhale, sit low, reach up, reach back. Exhale, follow your hands down. Step your right foot back and take yourself through a flow. High to low, up dog to down dog. When you get back to down dog, we'll move into the left side. Inhale your left leg back. Exhale with care, step your foot between your hands. Seal your back, heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Nice, give yourself a beat or two to set it up. Set your feet hips width distance apart. So you might need to toe heel your left foot a little bit over towards the left. And then really press the pinky toe side of your right foot in your mat. That looks really good, Harper. Yeah, suction your back foot onto your mat so you don't roll onto your inner arch. Draw your left hip back, close your eyes at the end. Looks so good, kiddo. Focus on your breath moving through you. And see if you can grow a little tall out of your waistband. Just like in mountain, let your shoulders rinse down your back, soften your jaw. And then flutter your eyes back open. Inhale, sit low, reach up, drag your fingers across your ceiling. Nice, Courtney. Exhale, release. 2 hands down, step your left foot back, find your flow. And then it's yours. 1 breath, 1 movement, warrior 1, right side and left. So every inhale you move, every exhale you move again. And these 1 breath, 1 movements, they're a chance to move and breathe and navigate space to the rhythm of your own breath. A chance for free-form movement to be creative and intuitive in a way that serves you. Perhaps close your eyes through it. And if you're back in down dog, keep pressing your heart towards your thighs. Fill this shape up with your breath. If it's available, exhale, drain your lungs. Inhale something fresh and new. Exhale, HA. Inhale your right leg back. Exhale slowly, step your foot between your hands. Seal your back, heel down. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, peel open, warrior 2. Left arm back, right arm forward, and then you get to get big. You get to take up a whole lot of space. This world doesn't really encourage us to take up room, especially right now. You might just want to curl up into a little ball in your bed. The idea of getting expansive could be really scary, but this is a chance to really feel your full potential. Allow yourself to get big. Feel enlivened through your fingertips. Place your back foot parallel to the back edge of your mat, heel to heel or heel to inner arch alignment. And then really press through the pinky toe side of both of your feet so your legs light up. Stack your front knee over your front ankle. So that might mean a shorter or longer stance. It might mean squeezing your knee to center if it started to drift left. And then bring your left hip down in line with your right so your hips level off. Send your tailbone closer towards the ground. Again, grow tall out of your waistband. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Maybe close your eyes at the end or fix your gaze over your front middle finger. Inhale, sit low, stretch wide. Exhale, slow release. Both hands down. Step your right foot back and take yourself through a sweet flow. And these flows are a chance to rinse out, to reset, to again come back into your unique rhythm. All right, inhale your left leg back. Exhale with care, step your foot between your hands. Seal your back, heel down. Inhale for 1, exhale, glide into warrior 2. Looks really nice, Tim. Beautiful, Gabrielle. Allow yourself to get big again. It's such an empowering pose. And can you feel so strong and grounded from the waist down? That you're light and buoyant from the waist up. It's like you're a balloon and you could just float away. Beautiful, Tasha. And then allow yourself to just be okay with landing wherever you landed. Resist the urge to fix or fidget or micromanage or adjust. And know that this warrior 2 that you found today, right here, right now, is enough. And it might not be that perfect warrior 2, that expectation you had when you unrolled your mat. But it's yours and it's here and you're here. And this version of you is enough. I think especially in times like this, we place so many expectations on ourselves. I need to clean my house. I need to learn a new skill. I think it's actually a time for self-kindness. The way that you are handling this is perfect. You are perfect. All right, inhale, sit low, stretch wide. Exhale, slow, windmill your hands down, step your left foot back, find your flow. And then it's yours again, a chance to move and breathe and feel. Warrior one, warrior two, right side and left. And this idea of moving slow. There's so many benefits. You get to use muscle rather than momentum, but you also get to really feel your way through it. Perhaps you move a little slower than you normally might. And if your one breath, one movement looks a whole lot like child's pose right now, that is such a powerful choice. And that means all you have to do is feel fully and breathe mindfully in your child's pose. Truly, if you spend 60 minutes in child's pose, you've gotten your yoga in for the day. Everything beyond that, that's just an added bonus. Looks so beautiful. Nice job, Karen and Jessamine and Gabby. All right, and if you're back in down dog, keep it active again. Press your mat away with your hands. If it's available, exhale, get empty. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, let something go. All right, take a bend to your knees. Look forward between your hands. Step or float. Top of your mat, forward fold. Set your feet hips width distance. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then bend your knees enough so that you can wrap your arms behind your legs. Grab for opposite elbows. And if you can't get elbows, you can grab for wrists or forearms, totally fine. Bring your weight a little forward onto the balls of your feet and keep your knees as bent as you need to, but gently begin to lift your hips up. Start to feel for a stretch anywhere along the backside of your body. So you might feel it in your legs, your glutes, your hips, your back, your shoulder. There's no right answer because your body is unique. Day to day, it's unique too. But breathe into the places you feel sensation. Remember those long, slow exhales. Tell your body that you're safe. It's okay to be calm. One more, inhale, squeeze a little tighter. And exhale, release your arms. From there, inhale, hips down, heart up, chair pose. Bring your weight back into your heels. Slide your hips back towards whatever is behind you. It's like you're trying to get your shins perpendicular to your mat, but as long as you can see your toes, you're in a good spot. Lift your heart. Feel for a proud chest. It's more of stacking shoulders on top of hips than leaning forward. And if you notice you're really overarching your lower back, we call that duck butt. Tuck your tailbone just a little bit so that your front and back core muscles light up to support you. Squeeze your arms a little straighter, but let your shoulders relax into their sockets. Inhale, sit low, lift your heart. Exhale, dive, forward fold. Let everything go. And how quickly can you go from working really hard to putting in zero effort? Allow yourself to get heavy, maybe sway side to side. Feel the gentle pull on your spine just from gravity. Then we'll take another deeper forward fold, this time gorilla. So pick up your toes, slide your hands underneath your feet, palms face up so your toes touch your wrist crease. Again, bring your weight onto the balls of your feet. And again, keep your knees as bent as you need to. But from there, again, gently begin to lift your hips up. Yeah, and instead of jamming your knees back, lift your hips a little higher. Maybe keep a micro bend to your knees. Try to keep your spine really long. And if you're feeling good, your legs are pretty straight, you can use the strength of your arms to pull yourself deeper. Maybe your elbows bend out to the side. Bring your shoulders away from your ears so the pulling comes from your arms rather than your shoulders. One more inhale to whatever space you found. And exhale, release your hands. And inhale, hips down, heart up, chair pose. As soon as you get there, close your eyes. Find a breath that's going to hold you up in the moment. Your breath is so empowering. Yeah, it can soften and calm you down, but it can also energize you in these more fiery postures. And again, you get to decide what kind of practice you need today. So if you need to challenge yourself, sit low, find your edge. Yeah, Kate, looks really good. If self-care is what you need today, back out of it. You could stand here in mountain pose right now. No one on this screen cares at all. In fact, I don't think anyone's looking at you besides maybe me. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere that you might soften, perhaps flutter your lips, release tension in your jaw. Pretty hard to find or keep a tense jaw when you do that. All right, inhale, sit low, lift your heart. Exhale, spill, forward fold, let it go. Yeah, really nice choices. Inhale, half lift, seal it off. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step or lightly hop your feet back. Take yourself through a flow. And if you do hop back, hop into low plank with your elbows bent rather than high plank. It's just less impact on your joints. You really want to take care of your joints. And when you're back in down dog, find your breath again, deep and slow. Inhale your right leg back. Exhale slowly, step your foot between your hands. Use your core strength to step through. Seal your back, heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, blossom into warrior two. Take a moment, set it up. And then look forward to your front hand, flip your palms skyward. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Feel your right side ribs fan open. So from the waist down, you're still in warrior two. Keep sitting low into your lunge. Keep your front knee over your front ankle. Bring your left hip down in line with your right. And left hand, it can go on your left calf, left thigh. If you are going to wrap it behind your back, really go palm face down, grab into your hip crease. And then it's a place to pull away from. So you're getting a deeper stretch across your right ribs. It's a self-adjustment. Soften your right shoulder into a socket, but squeeze your right arm straight. Perhaps look up at your right fingertips. If that doesn't feel great on your neck, you can look back at your back foot. Inhale, sit low, reach high. Exhale, smooth, both hands down. Step your right foot back, and you flow. See if you can make it hypnotic. Really nice. Inhale your left leg back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Seal your back, heel down. Inhale for one, exhale for two. Beautiful, Gabby. Try to stay low through the transition. Look forward at your front hand, flip your palms skyward. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, sweep your arm up and back, reverse warrior. Beautiful, Waz. Yeah, and then tuck your tailbone. Try to take the arch out of your back. Feel for a side stretch rather than a back bend. Just make a choice on what you want to do with your right hand. Awesome, Katrina. And just make it a choice that's going to help you get a deeper stretch across your left ribs. Looks so good, Andy. And then try to get your breath involved. Send your breath so much so into your left side body that your left lung inflates and starts to stretch open your intercostal muscles between your ribs. And this pose, it's also called peaceful warrior. Can you find some ease? Can you find some sweetness at the very end? Inhale, sit low, stretch high. And exhale, release. Two hands down, step your left foot back, flow it out. And then it's yours one last time. One last chance to move and breathe on your own. One breath, one movement. Warrior one, warrior two, reverse warrior, right side and left. And what can you bring into your practice right now, your flow? For me, yoga is such an opportunity to really process all of my emotions that I have going on. I don't know about you, but these emotions and these feelings, they've just been coming at me in waves. One moment I'm feeling joyful and peaceful and calm, and the next I'm like near panic attack or in a panic attack or crying. And sometimes you almost get numb to it, right? And instead of pushing those things down, allow yourself to feel them, allow them to bubble up to the surface. Because we don't want them to become repressed emotions, right? We don't want them to show up later in life in some other way, some perhaps destructive way. practice is so beautiful because you really get to feel everything, and you're supporting everyone in this room. You're supporting each other without even realizing it. All right, exhale, empty. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, HA. From down dog, inhale your right leg back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Seal your back, heel down, pause. Inhale, power lunge, arms back by your hips, palms face down like airplane wings. Pick your torso up off your thighs, so there's one long line from your back foot through the crown of your head. Pinkies energetically try to find each other, and then let your hands find each other, interlace your fingers. From there, send your hands low towards your back heel. Open your heart, open your throat. Maybe tilt your head back, perhaps close your eyes, allow it to feel really good. One more inhale to send your hands down. Exhale, release. Sweep your biceps forward to frame your face. Extended power lunge. So now there's one long line from your back foot through your fingertips. We'll exhale as a group to ground. Exhale. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. And then when you get there, straighten your right leg. You can bring your back foot in a little bit if you'd like. Bump your hips way back to the left, super sassy. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, right hand to your shin, left hand up for triangle. So continuously keep bumping your hips back so that you can grow as long as possible through your torso. Try to lengthen the right side of your rib cage as well as your left. Feel for stacking left hip on top of right, so scoop your right hip a little under. Bring your arms into one long line. If you can see the back of your top hand, that's a really good indicator your arms are in line. Inhale to stretch your arms apart. Exhale, bring your left hand down to frame your front foot. And then step your back foot in closer and also towards the left. So you're in a shorter stance and a wider stance for your pyramid. And as short and as wide as you need to get 2 straight legs. Fold your torso over your front leg. Encourage your right hip back as you send your left hip forward. Try to keep a long spine. And if you pull up on your right kneecap to engage your right quad, you'll allow your right hamstring to relax a little bit more. And that's true for any body part. You contract one side, the opposite side softens. Nice, and then from there, we're gonna move into standing splits. So take a little bend to your back knee, come up onto your back toes. Take an inhale, exhale, standing splits, come onto your right foot. So the higher you kick your left leg, the more you're gonna feel it in your right hamstring. And you can keep on micro bending your right knee, or you can bend it as much as you need to, but squeeze your left leg really straight. Tuck your chin, feel for a really long spine. And maybe you walk your hands a little bit closer towards your standing leg today. Breathe wherever you are. Find calmness in the moment. Learn to respond rather than react. One more inhale. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. And then without thinking about it, inhale, hips down, heart up, chair pose. So right back where we were before. Except now we're gonna move into something a little different, standing figure 4. So start to pour a little more weight into your right foot, and then pick up your left leg, cross it across your right thigh, so your left ankle is on your right thigh, and if you need to, you can reach down to help your foot with your hand. Sit low back into your chair. Bring your left hip down in line with your right. Flex your left toes a lot to protect your left knee. You can keep your arms up. You can also bring them to heart center. And instead of leaning really far forward, try to send your tailbone down, lengthen through your lower back. Stack your shoulders a little more over your hips. Sometimes I even like to take my left hand, kind of rotate my thigh open, not to put pressure on it, but just to help myself get a little bit deeper. Nice, in a moment, we're gonna stand up. So one more inhale to sit low. Exhale, stand straight up, extended mountain. Beautiful, look up at your hands. Inhale, look up, reach back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, reset. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands. Step or lightly hop your feet back. Flow it out. Beautiful work. All right, let's try it on the other side. Inhale your left leg back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Seal your back heel down, pause. Inhale, power lunge, arms back by your hips, palms face down. Looks so good. So Liz, can you bring your torso a little higher? Yeah, really nice. That's it, totally right there. Draw your left hip a little back. Tuck your tailbones so your core muscles turn on. Pinkies try to find each other, and then interlace your hands the opposite way, non-dominant grip. We're trying to break all those old ingrained habits. Send your hands low towards your back foot. Feel an expansion, a stretch across your chest, the front of your shoulders. Maybe take a little mini back bend. Let it feel good. One more inhale. Exhale, extended power lunge. Sweep your arms forward. Beautiful, Tasha. Exhale, empty. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Lovely transition, Harper and Andy and Adele. All right, squeeze your left leg straight. Bump your hips way back to the right. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, tilt your body down for triangle. And if you have knees that hyperextend, just keep a little micro bend in your front knee to protect your knee joint. Bring your weight into your two heels. Lean back towards whatever is behind you. Really nice, Karen. So imagine you're flush against a wall right now. Tuck your tailbone, take the extra arch out of your back. Reach your top arm straight towards 12. I learned that from Gabby. Inhale to stretch your arms apart. Exhale, bend your, no, just kidding. Bring your right hand down, frame your front foot. Yeah, step your back foot in a little closer, a little wider for your pyramid. Two straight legs, fold your torso over your front leg. This time, bring your left hip a little back, right hip a little forward. Yeah, and you can even move with your breath if you want here. Inhales for length, little mini half lifts. Exhales to fold a little deeper. Moving with your breath like that is a really great way to build flexibility. Slow your breath down. Then we're going to move into standing splits. So take a bend to your front knee, come back onto the ball of your back foot. Take an inhale and exhale, launch forward, standing split. Beautiful, tuck your chin, feel for a really long spine. Bring your right hip a little down in line with your left. Squeeze your right leg really, really straight. And maybe just today, your left forearm comes behind your left calf and you use that grip to pull yourself even deeper. Maybe one day, two hands grab your ankle. Looks so beautiful, Gabrielle. Sometimes I like to bend my knee enough so I can get my chest on it, and then keeping that connection, start to straighten it. One more inhale to kick a little bit higher. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, hips down, heart up, chair pose. Nice, bring your weight into your heels. And then we'll move into standing figure four on this side. So start to place a little more weight into your left foot and then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Looks so nice, Maddie. Really good, Jenna. And again, you can also use your hands. You have all the options here. Yeah, if you fall out, that's a beautiful chance to come right back in. Allow it to get messy. Live in the mess. Yoga would be so boring if we all nailed every single balance posture every time. Sit a little bit deeper. Bring your right hip down in line with your left. Lean your torso a little back. Nice, Tasha. One more inhale. Exhale, stand straight up. Nice. Inhale, look up, reach back. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, reset. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step or lightly hop your feet back. Take yourself through a flow. One more last standing pose before we slow it down. So from down dog, inhale your right leg back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. This time, keep your back heel lifted. Inhale up for your high lunge, crescent lunge. So it's really similar to warrior one, except your back heel is lifted. Stack your back heel over your back toes so your back foot is perpendicular to your mat. Squeeze your left leg straight. Stack your front knee over your front ankle. And then from there, inhale, grow tall out of your waistband. Exhale, right arm back, left arm forward for an open twist. So 2 palms face the right side of your room. And there's this tendency to want to lean forward. Instead, resist that, lean back. So your shoulders stack all the way over your hips. If you want to test your balance, you can look back at your right hand. Also, option to bring right hand to the back of your left thigh. Reach your left arm up, palm facing the wall behind you. And then find space and length through your left side rib and your left side hip flexor. One more inhale here. Exhale, sweep your right arm forward, back into crescent lunge. Inhale, sit low, reach up, reach back. Exhale, release. Both hands down. Step your right foot back and you flow. All right, inhale your left leg back. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted. Inhale, crescent lunge. Nice, again, stack your back heel over your back toes. It's gonna strengthen the arch of your foot over time. Right now, it will help you balance, but if you're feeling wobbly, try toe heeling your left foot a little bit over towards the left. So there's a railroad track sensation rather than balance beam. Nice, inhale, grow tall. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward for your twist. Pull back through your left arm so that you stack shoulders over hips. Really nice. Draw your left hip a little back. Squeeze your right leg straighter. Sit low into your lunge. Option to look back at your back hand. Also option to bring your left hand to the back of your right thigh. Reach your right arm up, palm facing the back of your room. Looks beautiful, Tasha, Katrina. Breathe into any place you feel sensation. Allow your practice to feel good. One more inhale. Exhale, sweep your left arm forward, back into crescent. Inhale, sit low, reach up, drag your fingers across your ceiling again. Exhale, release. Nice, Karen. 2 hands down. Step your left foot back and flow. Beautiful, Tali and Caitlin. All right, let's slow it down a little. From down dog, inhale your right leg back. Exhale, bend your knee, stack your hip, open your joint, lubricate it. And then sweep your right knee to the outside of your right wrist. Right shin across your mat, set up for half pigeon. So really take your time with the setup. Place your left leg straight back from your left hip to square your hips. Right knee at an angle outside of your right hip, and then sit up really straight. Pull a bunch of length out of your spine. And if you are gonna go down, just go slow. Try to keep all of that length that you just created. And if you do come down, let your forehead rest somewhere. You can rest it on your mat, but you can also rest it on a pillow or your forearms or a sweatshirt. Anything that's close at hand. And again, this is just so your shoulders can soften. And allow everything to just melt. Like butter on a hot day, how soft can you get? Even the places that are usually hard. Relax your hips, relax your shoulders. Unclench your fists, unclench your jaw. See if you can even soften the place around your heart. The sides of your neck, your eyes. Allow them to gently close. Deep inhales. Smooth exhales. Just notice if you feel any energy still swirling around your body. Maybe there's still the rapid beat of your heart, See if you can use your breath to slow your heart rate down. This practice, the hard work, all those really edgy poses, those spicy poses, they are important, but so are these ones, these more yin type down regulating poses. We train our nervous systems to go from 100 to 0 really quickly. So that way, when you step out into the rest of the world and your anxiety spikes up or your nervous system reacts, you get to come down to your baseline so much quicker. You get to control your heart rate by using your breath. And if it's starting to get uncomfortable, see if you can just use your breath to stay a little bit longer. Teacher training, we tell our trainees to get comfortable with being uncomfortable because that's where growth really happens, right? When you step outside of your comfort zone. And exhale all of your air away. Inhale, send your breath to your right hip. Exhale, HM. And then with just as much mindfulness and care as you came down, start to slowly come out of it. Place your hands under your shoulders, gently lift yourself up. Tuck your back toes, step your right foot back. You can travel through a slow flow, but you can also take any transition that might feel good. Child's pose between pigeon sides can feel really lovely if you've never tried that before. Just going to a three-legged dog, shaking some new life into your leg. All these things I'm saying, they're just invitations and suggestions, but you are your own best teacher. And then we'll move into the other side if you're ready. Inhale your left leg back. Exhale, bend your knee, stack your hip, open it up, move it around. And then send your left knee to the outside of your left wrist, your left shin across your mat. And set up for half pigeon. And again, just take your time. There's no rush here. There's no special way to be. You get to come as you are. It's one of the things I love about yoga to the people. There's no judgments, no glorified teachers, no right way of dressing or being. Yeah, and if you're ready, you can come down, fold over your front leg, but you can also stay lifted on your hands. That's still pigeon. It's just a different variation. And two sides can feel really different. I have a pretty janky left hip, so sometimes I stay lifted the whole time on my left side. I know my buddy Drew over there does figure 4 on his left. Beautiful choices that I'm seeing. And it's really about making the yoga fit your body rather than forcing your body into something that's just not going to feel right. This is not a one-size-all-fits practice. And if what you take away from our classes is a little more self-compassion, a little more self-kindness, a little more being in the present moment, that's beautiful. It doesn't matter what pose you take. And at the end of the day, these poses, they're just a container in which you can have an experience. We don't use the body to get into the pose. We use the pose to get into the body. It's a vehicle to go with it. And this one in particular, this big hip opener, it can bring up a lot. They say our hips are our junk drawers of our bodies, where we store old emotions, repressed, just stuff. So just notice if any of that is bubbling up to the surface. Right now, I'm holding a crazy amount of tension in my hips. That's like where all my stress is. So I'm noticing they're tighter than normal. If you're noticing that, maybe your practice feels different than it normally does. Just know that that's okay, that it's all okay. You're doing the best you can. You've carved out an hour of your day. You're here. Beautiful. Exhale all of your air away. Inhale, send your breath to your left hip. Exhale, HM. And again, just go slow. Start to place your hands under your shoulders. Gently lift yourself up. Tuck your back toes, step your left foot back. And it's an invitation to take your final flow. So maybe you take it really, really slow, the slowest one of all. So it's not something to just get through, but it's something to feel awareness through, mindfulness through. Beautiful. When you get to your last down dog, make it dynamic, just like the first one. Move it around, pedal it out. Remember that first check-in we had where you looked at your body, decided how you were feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. And just notice if anything has changed for you, if anything has shifted. From there, bring your weight forward into a plank and slowly, like you're resisting gravity, lower yourself all the way down in one piece. Keep your elbows tight against your ribs. When you get down, keep your hands where they are under your shoulders. Send your elbows up towards the ceiling like little grasshopper legs. Zip up your legs so they touch. Exhale, push your hips into the mat. Inhale, lift your head and chest for a baby cobra. So push the shoelace portion of your feet into your mat so much that your knees lift up. Try hovering your hands. You don't really need them. Use the strength of your legs, your glutes, and your back to lift your whole body. It strengthens your whole backside body. One more inhale, a little higher. And exhale, gently release. Bring your left cheek to your mat. Send your hands back by your hips, palms face up. You can allow your feet to just flop open, but if you're feeling it all crunchy in your lower back, you can shimmy your hips or bend your knees, windshield wipe your legs, just little ways to release that area of your body. Sending your breath into those places helps too. And then bring your chin back to center. Send your arms out long in front of you, palms face each other, thumbs face up. Again, zip up your legs. Exhale to push your hips into your mat. Inhale, arms up, chest up, legs up, superhuman. Look up to go up. Your body's gonna follow your gaze. And then can you get one more rib off your mat? What about one more inch of side? Pick whatever's harder to lift, arms or legs, lift that. One more inhale, higher. Exhale, gently release. Bring your opposite cheek to your mat. Hands back by your hips, palms up. And just feel your heartbeat. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your back as you breathe. Feel your mat holding you up. And just trust that this floor can hold you up right now, that you don't have to hold on so tight, that you can soften. You can surrender. I think we're all in a little bit of fight or flight mode right now, and just taking those moments to really allow yourself to soften and find some ease. So important. Then from there, keep your head facing the same direction. Just flip onto your back. When you get onto your back, bend your knees, place the soles of your feet on your mat, and then bring your feet in close to your glutes. So arms are along your sides, like your fingers could graze your heels, but if they don't quite make it, that's totally fine. We're setting up for bridge. Set your feet hips width distance, knees parallel also. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift your hips up off your mat for bridge. And then you can start to shimmy your shoulders underneath you, maybe interlace hands under your body for leverage. Perhaps walk your feet in even closer. Send your chest towards your chin rather than your chin towards your chest. Really press through your feet in order to lift your hips even higher. One more inhale, get a little bit higher. And exhale, gently release. Let's keep your knees bent. Send your arms out wide into a capital letter T. Shift your hips a little to your left. Let your knees fall over to your right. You can take a gentle glance over your left arm if that feels good on your neck. You could stay right here, let gravity do all the work, but you can also place your right hand on the outside of your left thigh just for a little added weight. Close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Just kind of soak up these last few moments of class. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your knees back to center. Shift your hips over to your right and let your knees drop over to your left. Gentle glance over your right arm if that feels good. Sometimes I actually like to look over the opposite way. It helps stretch out my neck and the front of my shoulder, which are areas that can be really tight. So feel free to play. Again, all of these things are suggestions, and there might be some little tweak, some little movement that feels much better in your body. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your knees back to center. Center off your hips. And bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a really big hug. You can curl up into a little ball. If you like compression, you can grab for opposite elbows. If you like the massagey feeling on your spine, you can roll side to side. It's a lovely place to just thank yourself for showing up, for carving an hour out of your day. And please know that what you did today was enough. From there, press the soles of your feet together. Send your knees out wide for butterfly. Either interlace your hands around your feet, or you can grab your shins or ankles if that's a little more accessible today. Tuck your chin to get your whole spine on your mat. Press your tail into your mat too. And then try to pull your feet over your head. So you're moving your feet towards your heart rather than your groin. Breathe into the bowl of your pelvis. One more inhale. Exhale, separate your feet, happy baby. And if you have any tension left in your body, now's the time to let it go. You can flutter your legs. Take a lion's breath. Sometimes I like to straighten one leg, then another, just for a little hamstring stretch, but just be really gentle if you do that. Let's take one more breath together. Exhale all of your air away. Inhale, scrunch up your face really tight. Exhale, stick out your tongue. And then release your grip. Send your legs out long. Let your feet flop open. Close your eyes. Hands can go palms face up to soak up the good energy that you've created. But if that feels vulnerable today, one hand to heart, one hand to belly can help you keep your own energy, can feel really comforting. Allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. Feel for floating and falling through the floor. Just stay where you are. Keep one ear open. Thank you so much for your practice today. Thank you for showing up and breathing and being present and supporting the collective. Really, just by your presence, you are supporting the healing and the growth and the well-being of every single person that's on this Zoom chat. So thank you for being a part of our community. It really does mean a lot that you're here. Know that you are important here, you matter. If you're able to donate, $12 suggested, you can go to yogatothepeople.com/donate. It's so appreciated in this time of uncertainty. But if you're not in the financial position to do so, a great way is to help us spread the word on social media. If you like my class, post about it, share links. Let's get everyone across the world doing yoga. I think the world would be a much better place if everyone did a little more yoga. Teacher training is starting up virtually at the end of March. There's a reduced price of, pretty sure it's $24.50 if you register by May 8th. That's a really good deal. Check out yttptraining.com for info. And then I'm going to end class the way we always do, read a quote. We'll take one final breath and then you're free to go. Thank you so much for joining. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. And then one more time as a group, please exhale, empty. Inhale, big belly breath in. Exhale, HA. Just start to add some movement, little wiggle of your fingers, wiggle of your toes, maybe roll your forehead side to side. Yeah, Gabby's mom, little shoulder roll. Then with your eyes still closed, you can roll onto one side. Hi, Drew. And then just gently push yourself up to a seated position. I'm going to unmute everyone, so get ready.